Good morning, everyone. So this session is basically about F5 GTM, or you can say DNS solution. That is called Global Traffic Manager. So everyone has heard about the term DNS. So it is an intelligent DNS. Whatever features DNS can do, it can also do. But it provides you additional features of your load balancer plus security, that is called DNS security. Plus, it also provides you intelligent DNS. So this course is around 1 month, and this will be a weekend class, Saturday and Sunday. And after this course, guys, you can able to crack any interview related to F5 GTM or DNS. Plus, you will have basic knowledge of DNS also. And I would expect you have little bit knowledge on OSI. Plus, guys, you will be able to crack basics of LTM also from this course. Plus, another thing what you will get from this is you will get lifetime interview support, recorded videos also. After every class we will be uploaded in our portal. So we have our video portal where we will be uploading the videos. You can access through laptop plus mobile. And my name is Vidit. You can call me Monday to Friday on my number 728 for any doubts or any career guidance. Plus, after in each class, if I feel anything is important, I will mark it very, very important, guys. So that will help you in interview questions. So this was all about the GTM. Now I will be telling you course content. Then we will start with the introduction of load balancer. First, we will cover little bit on load balancer. I will tell you the agenda which I will be covering every day. And I have a YouTube channel, guys. So you can directly go here, just type Skilled Inspirational Academy YouTube. So this YouTube channel have all things related to F5. You can go to playlist. So whoever does not have knowledge, they can directly go into this channel and watch my videos. It will cover everything. You can go to playlist, and in playlist you have F5 LTM, GTM, interview series. And I can guarantee you, if you watch these videos also, you can crack any F5 interviews. Plus, guys, we have our website, sianets.com. So these are the courses which we provide. And we have our video portal. You need to take access of this. So I provided the link in the group. You need to make an account on this. So these are all courses which we are providing. So your videos will be uploaded on this F5 GTM. So I have uploaded the basic videos about lab and everything. You can access it. Plus we have different other courses like Palo Alto, Panorama, Checkpoint, and cloud stuff. So you can just go to this vncph.courses.store. So this was all about video section, and I will help you to tell you how at the last I will tell you how you can access the video. So once you make an account, you will get this link web.class+app.com. So you just need to open this link. This is our, then you need to enter, they will ask you organization code. So organization code is VNCPH. Some people already know because they have done it. If some are new, they can access it. So you will get like this when you log in, you need to enter organization code. So guys, you need to register using your number which you will be used further on. because these videos are only accessible on your registered mobile number. After that, once you register, you need to enter this organization code. Once you do this, you need to go to store. After that, guys, you will get to it. Just search for F5 GTM. So you will able to see my course. So today videos or any videos will be uploaded in this channel. After that, once you get an access, you need to go to content section. And here you will get the videos uploaded. So this was all about the videos recording. Now let's go further on. Course content for GTM. So guys, these are the major topics which we'll be covering, and inside this there are many things. So total your course contains 9 modules. So your course mostly contains 9 videos, or you can say 9 modules, not videos, but 9 modules. So we will cover each module according to the time. Every class will be 2 or 2.5 hours, including Q&A. So first module, we will be covering about overview of GTM, how it is different with LTM. We will talk about network configuration, deployment, lab topology. Everything will be covered in module 1 and 2. So lab things we will be covering tomorrow also, and today if I get time, I will cover that. Then second module is all about your DNS. Because to understand GTM, guys, you should understand basics of DNS. How DNS works, what is name server, what are the records available on DNS. That all things we will be covering in DNS overview. After that, guys, once you do this, we will be talking about there are a GTM features. See, we have DNS. We need to understand what is the difference between DNS versus GTM. So for that, you need to understand what are the features that makes us different. So in that case, there are main two features which are very important, guys, to understand in GTM. One, accelerated DNS resolution and intelligent DNS resolution. So these are separate modules, you can say separate chapters. And in this, there are many things covered. So don't worry, we will go step by step and we will do the lab for everything. Plus you will get study materials also, guys. Plus lab guide also in this course. Plus I will try to upload interview questions also related to this. After that, guys, once you do this, then there is next model which is called LDNS props and metrics. What is LDNS? How probes work? So basically, when I talk about GTM, there is a concept called data center. So in our topology, I will explain what we will have. We will have one GTM that is, you can say global DC. It's in global data center. Then this GTM will be connected to your LTM1, which is, let's say, on data center 1. And this is called LTM2, which is on data center 2. And your this all are connected to, let's say, internet. After that, this LTM, let's say, is switches coming into picture. Then we have servers, server 1, server 2, server 3. In this also, we will have a switch layer 3, let's say, switch 1, switch server 2, server 3. So if I talk about lab topology, we will have this type of topology. In this case, we will have one global data center, plus we will have one data center 1, data center 2. So if I talk about lab, guys, we will be going with 3 devices. And you should have at least, I will say, 16 GB RAM minimum. Every device we will give around 4 GB RAM. If someone has lab issues, if someone is having 16 GB RAM, then it's good. If someone is not having, they can prepare in Google Cloud. That I will be helping you. We have already done, some people have already done Google Cloud deployment, and you can also do it. So this is how our data centers are built. If I explain you in this whiteboard, I will quickly explain you our lab topology so that you can understand the RAM. So when we talk about GTM, guys, we talk about data centers. So if I talk about lab topology, in lab topology, we will have one GTM box. Then let's say this is cloud internet. Then we have LTM1. Then we have LTM2. I will tell you the logic of 3 devices. Now we will have one management IP. So every F5 device has 4 interfaces that I will tell you. One is for management. This one will be external network. Let's say my external network, I will treat it as 192.168.1.0/24. I will give this IP external interface IP 1.100. This I will give 192.168.1.10, and this one 192.168.1.20. Anything you can give. And it will have one management IP. In my network, I will be taking management IP 192.168.137.0 net. And I will be creating 3 data centers, guys. One will be global data center. This is DC1. This is DC2. So that is the lab topology. We will be doing it. So I will tell you the logic, but this is the lab. You need 3 devices. So if I talk about lab topology, what you need? I will show you. So you can do lab setup either on VMware or EVNG. Minimum 16 GB RAM you required. First, you need to download and install VMware software. I will tell you from where you can download. Otherwise, I will share you in the Google Drive. So we will be taking 3 big IP, one with GTM module, 2 with LTM module. So one F5 I will be taking and provisioning GTM, that is a DNS. 2 F5 I will only have LTM module. So I will explain network component, what is module, what is LTM, what is GTM. That I will come to know. One big IP, 4 GB RAM minimum. Then we will download this over and we will have a license. And guys, in F5, there is a very important concept which comes into picture is license part. And license is free. You can do n number of trial on the license part. That's what's all about your lab topology. So I was talking about DNS probe. So LDNS probe basically helps you. It's like a monitor. You can say health monitor. So it will test your path between a data center. You need to test a connectivity between global DC versus DC1, DC2. So that is called probing. Or you can say it is helpful in DNS resolution. So it will test the path, which path is up and how it is. So that you will come to know slowly on that part. Then guys, another topic which will come into picture is load balancing. What is coming under load balancing? So in this case, guys, we have already studied, we will also discuss. So there is a algo. When I talk about LTM, we worked on round robin load balancing algo. We checked ratio based. Then we check about dynamic load balancing algo. So the same thing is available on GTM. So when I talk about GTM, guys, in GTM, your load balancing is called GSLB. That is called Global Server Load Balancing. When I talk about GTM, in GTM, this load balancing is called Global Server Load Balancing. In this also, we will have static versus dynamic load balancing. So there are two types of load balancing algo here comes into picture. One is at wide IP level, one at pool level. So we will see how it depends on and how load balancing works. That you will understand after once you understand what is GTM. So GTM main role is to provide you best available IP. When you access google.com, what is the role of DNS, guys? Anyone? When you access google.com, what is the role of DNS? DNS will give you the IP, name to IP resolution. So the same thing GTM will provide, but it will use different load balancing algo for name resolution request. It can be based on your best performance, current performance, or static, round robin. So that we will discuss. Now the next topic which is covered is monitors. So we talk about LDNS probes monitors. We will talk about health monitor. If any one of the server goes down, traffic should not go to this server, it should go to next server. So that we will come to know in your health monitor topic. So there are different health monitor in this. We have learned about TCP, HTTP, but here we have different. That is service check monitor. We will talk about. When I talk about monitors, there are service check monitor, content check monitor, application monitors, or path check is also there. And you will see one monitor called SNMP monitor or bake IP. So this monitor is very, very important. I will tell you the importance of this because this will help you to integrate GTM with LTM. See, if you are judging it, that's why LTM knowledge is little bit important because some topics are correlated with LTM. But don't worry, guys. We will cover something on LTM stuff also, so you will get to know. Next thing we will be covering about logs and notification. How logs are stored in GTM, how you can troubleshoot different issues. So that we will cover in logs and notification tab. So what is there in logs? If I talk about logs, how, let's say you need to review system log files. You need to troubleshoot. So every logs are present in Verilog GTM. And your F5 is built on Linux platform, guys. So you want to see GTM related logs, you want to see critical log. So you can always see through GUI or CLI. So guys, most of the configuration of GTM we will be doing by GUI, not CLI. Then we will talk about advanced topic, guys. Advanced topic means DNS security. Very, it's also a topic which is important and it will be asked in your interview. So here we will be talking about DNS security in advanced topic, then QK view. Then we will talk about there are different script, GTM underscore add, big IP configuration files that we will see in details. N- Now, if I talk about module 1, let's go one by one. So today's agenda, guys. What is the agenda for module 1? We will see what is big IP DNS. What is the difference versus DNS? We will see LTM and versus GTM. GTM benefits and initial configuration. So that is the topic we will be covering in module 1. So guys, if I talk about DNS, I will just give you anywhere DNS is a separate module, module 2 we will discuss. But can anyone tell me what is the role of DNS? What is the full form of DNS first of all? That is called domain name system. When you access any website, let's say sianets.com, what is the first thing you will come to know in your browser? When you access sianets.com, why DNS came into picture? First of all, because guys, you cannot remember IP address for all website. So DNS is a component which is called domain where it will translate your domain name to IP. So you can remember cnets.com, but you cannot remember the IP address of cnets.com. That is where your DNS comes into picture. Simple definition, DNS is basically name into IP address. So that is important. So you need to understand what is DNS. Before going further on, you should just understand the basic. Anyways, I will be covering DNS basics, so don't worry. But why DNS came into picture? Why we are here? And what is happening? What are the records? We'll cover everything in details. When you type a URL in your browser, what happens? So this topic will be asked in interview. When you type any URL in your browser, what happens first? This is an important interview question which will be asked in every interview. So if someone asks you what is DNS, you can say DNS is basically name into IP resolution. It will help you to provide you features to remember so that it's easy to remember name rather than IP address. Now, if I talk about DNS, guys, how the traffic flows. Let's say I have a computer. I'm just talking about the basic. I have a computer. Then let's say I have one LDNS. Then I have, this is the topology which generally follow. I have root name server. Okay, I'm just drawing a topology how DNS works. After that, what I have another name server. So anyone can tell me what comes after root name server? Anyone, guys? When I talk about root name server, after that, what comes into picture? If I talk about DNS stuff, what comes under picture? Now here it will come your top level domain name server. First root, then this is called top level domain server. After that, let's say Sianets.com name server. So this is how your topology works. Now, let's say guys, client wants to access Sianets.com. Your request will go to where first? Please understand this carefully just to understand how DNS works. If I talk about client wants to access Sianets.com, where it will go, guys? It will first check the entry in its local cache. So in every browser, guys, there is a cache stored. If there is an entry for cnets.com, it will give an IP 192.168.1.45. If it does not have an entry in local cache, where it will check? It will check in your host entry, that is called etc_host. So sometimes what you do in your browser, you have a local host entry where you configure name into IP. So here you will create a record that cnets.com should resolve to 192.168.1.45. If it does not find in local host or local cache, it will forward your request to LDNS, guys. Now what is LDNS? This is called your local DNS server. What is this? So this is any of your server. Either this is managed by your ISP or it is managed by your company. Very, very important, guys. So when you configure DNS, guys, in your laptop, what you enter? So when I go here in my laptop, if I go to properties, just give me 1 minute. I will go here. I will minimize it. So how you can check what is the ISP or LDNS is configured? So for this, you need to go here. Okay, in your Wi-Fi, there is a network and internet settings. Now here you will go to change adapter options. Now here you can go here, properties, and go to IPv4. So can you see this? What I have given here? Obtain IP automatically, obtain DNS server automatically. So guys, this is called your LDNS. That is called local DNS server. Local DNS server, basically, if you are using ISP. In my case, I am connecting to, my computer is connecting to my Wi-Fi router. So in my case, my local DNS is my ISP. If you are using your network at your college or your office, then you will have local DNS server. Do one thing today, what you will do, go to command prompt, type this command, ipconfig/all. It will give you the DNS IP. So that is where you will configure. Try to understand, guys, what is local DNS server. Local DNS server is usually who will perform your domain name. See, I don't know what is the IP address. LDNS generally knows that where to forward the request, whether root name server, top level domain. So local DNS server either can be managed by your ISP, or if you are on your network or company network, then you configure one IP. So end user request will always go here. I have drawn the diagram again. I will show you. So we have a computer. This is my Vidit computer. My Vidit computer is connected to ISP router. And I want to access sianets.com. This is my website. I will access this. Now, this will be my LDNS. And what is LDNS? Local DNS server. It performs domain name lookup. See, I will give you one IT example. Let's say you got two projects. You have two colleagues. One is Sumit, one is Harish. And you are a manager in your company. That I will say LDNS. So customer came in that I want to implement AT&T policies quickly. I want to implement another project which is Oracle. I got two projects. Now manager has a duty, right? Who can manage this AT&T customer? Who can manage this Oracle customer? So that is called LDNS. He will check, he will look over that. Sumit, can you perform this? You have a time to do this project. Harish, can you do Oracle? So that is called LDNS. Basically, if Vidit sends a request to LDNS, but LDNS does not have a IP for this, then LDNS will forward your request to three components. First, it will forward the request to root name server, then TLD, then domain name server. So that is how your DNS works. So guys, when I talk about DNS hierarchy, if I talk about DNS hierarchy, so this is a tree level structure. First, you will have a root that will be represented by dot. Then it will be top level domain. Guys, can anyone tell me what is top level domain? Top level domains are .com, .edu, .net, .org. That is called top level domain. After that, what will come into picture? Subdomain. Let's say Sianets. So finally, when you access your website, it will become sianets.com. And after that, at last also there will be dot. You will not see, but in every website there is a last dot also comes into picture. Now if I type here ATT, what would be my website? It will become att.edu. So that is how your tree structure is built. It goes top to down. Root level, top domain it will go. That is called root level domain. After that, it will go to top level domain, then subdomain. So internet is divided into, when I talk about DNS, In DNS, internet is divided into group of units. That is called domain. So let's say we have an IT unit, we have a CSC unit, it's like that. So how your name resolution happens? Let's talk about that. I will draw a picture for you that will be easy now. I will have a computer, then I will have a local DNS, then I will say root name server. Then I will say .com name server. Then I will say Sianets.com name server. Now guys, if you see, in every case, there is a concept called name server. Name server. Name server. What is name server, guys? First of all, let's understand what is name server. Then we will understand the DNS resolution flow. So to understand name server, guys, you need to understand what is internet. So internet is basically network of computers. Can I say internet is network of large network of computers, or that is also called servers. And server is also like a computer that is basically store your websites. So name server basically is special type of server, you can say, that will keeps all your DNS records. So name server is one component that keeps all your DNS records related to your domain. Simple definition, guys. Don't make it complex. So name server is a server that keeps DNS records. Its job is to provide you DNS information, who is requesting. That is why if you see, client will send request to local domain name server. If it does not have a record, it will forward to root server. If it does not have, it will give a reference. So can I say name server is basically a record of a database or of domain name? When I talk about server, guys, what is server, guys? Anyone? Server is basically stores your website names, or it will store your website, record website or store. When you access any web page, where you get from server. Same way name server is also called. Can you say name plus server? Name, what you understand by name, it will keep record of your domain name. So I can say it will keep DNS records related to domain name. My main thing is I want to resolve Sianets.com IP. If Sianets.com is here, it will provide IP directly. If it is not there, then it will give a referral. So these name servers are either managed by your hosting provider or a domain name. So when you, let's say you want to register your company, you need to go to Hosting Raja or GoDaddy. They will give you name server that they only manage your name server. So each name server will have its own address and it will store records of your website. So if I say Hosting Raja name server, guys, Hosting Raja name servers will keep records of cnets.com, will keep record of other websites also, google.com. So whenever your website, when you log in into, let's say, Hosting Raja, in Hosting Raja, there is a C panel where they will keep the record for your records. So how it is, I will show you. I will go into google.com quickly and I will show you. You can just type hosting Raja name server, then go to images. I will show you how it is. So you can go here, name server details. So it will start like this. Name server 1, name server 2. So this is how it will be. ns53.hostingraja.com. ns54, ns55, ns56. So they will store your record in your name server like this. So that is how you can find name server related to any website, guys. So what I will do, I will quickly show you. Go to command prompt. Then what you need to do, you just type ns lookup. After that, what you need to do, you can just type. So this is the command. So for DNS resolution, guys, how to verify the IP address of your website. So you need to run ns lookup sianets.com. If you need to find any IP address of your website, this is the tool, ns lookup. So it will help you to translate domain name to IP address. Let me do one thing. I have a machine already in my PC. Let's do there. Just give me 1 minute. Let me turn on that Windows XP. I will show you how you can find the name server of your website. So, but you need to know the definition. What is name server? Name server keeps record of every website. We will talk about the flow, but you need to understand the name server component. That is important. Now I'm turning on the website, and name servers are always managed by your hosting providers. You don't need to worry much. So these components are basic to understand GTM stuff. So it's turned on. I will just go here. I'll just see if it has an internet connectivity. Great. So what I will do, I will go to command prompt. What I will do, I will just type ipconfig. I will just type ipconfig all. What is my DNS? Can anyone tell me what is my LDNS server here? Anyone quickly? You must have understood what is local domain name server. Can anyone tell me when your client send a request to get an IP for cnets.com, where it will go first? Quickly, guys. Let me check the chat. Excellent. So it will go to my 192.168.1.1. What is this? This is managed by my ISP. So what I will do, this is how you can see your local DNS server provided by your ISP. Now what I will do, I will go here and type ns lookup. So this is my address which is going on. Now I will type this set type. This is the command when you want to see ns server. So you will type set type equal to ns. Now I will type sianets.com. Can you see, guys? You will get the details of sianets.com. I wanted to see what are the name servers. Who is managing which server in my hosting Raja are managing my sianets.com record. Can you see this, guys? These two servers are maintaining my records. This is how you can check. So it is type of servers. These are my servers. Why there are two? Can anyone tell me why there are two name servers? For every domain, why there are two name servers? So I say that name server is a server that keeps DNS records of your domain name. But why there are two name server for every domain? Anyone just excellent. If one name server goes down, then traffic should go via this server. I told you, right? Each name server has its own records, its own address. So if I see this, I can see the IP address also. I will type this ns145.hosting.raja.org. It will provide me the details. Can you see primary? This is your primary name server. Now, if I type exit, I type ns lookup ns145.hosting.raja.org. I will see the IP address. So how to get an IP address, guys? Now my question is, what is the command to get IP address of domain? Anyone? What is the command to get IP address of your domain? Let's say I want to see google.com IP address. Which command I need to run, guys? Command is ns lookup. There are two utility. One is ns lookup, one is dig utility. dig. So I will type ns lookup google.com. Can you see IP is getting changed? Why IP is getting changed? Sometimes it's getting 110. Now it's getting 110. Can you see 193, 183? One website is having multiple IP address, guys. That is I wanted to show you. When I type google.com, sometimes it's getting resolved to 142.250.193.46. Sometimes it's getting resolved to 142.250.183.110. So that is how in GTM and LTM will work. So what will happen? Your traffic will come to GTM. LDNS will send traffic. Let's say LDNS does not see the record. It does not have record for cnets.com, but it will see the cnets.com is managed by GTM. Now traffic will receive to GTM. Now GTM will have one wide IP. I'm just telling you, I will explain everything in detail. That is called FQDN. Now wide IP, once it has a pool. In pool, what it has? It has a combination of virtual server 1, virtual server 2. Virtual server 1 is hosted on LTM 1. Virtual server 2 is on LTM 2. So when I type cnets.com, first it will get resolved to virtual server 1. Second time it will get resolved to virtual server 2. That is the logic how in backend it's happening, guys. That is why explaining you the basics first, guys. Every domain can have multiple IPs, guys. So that is what DNS is. Now let's come into the name resolution process. We have understand the name servers. Now we will understand what is root server, what is top level domain. Name resolution. Just give me 1 minute. Name resolution process. I will draw a picture with client. Then I have LDNS, which is managed by ISP. Then I have root name server, .com name server, Sianets.com name server. Now, guys, client enters Sianets.com. First DNS query will be sent on port 53. It will be sent to LDNS. First, that two assumptions we checked. First, local cache and in extra etc host file. These entries are not there. IP address of cnets.com is not found. Finally, it will send a DNS query to LDNS. Now, LDNS, there is a concept called recursive versus iterative query. Let's say I don't have an entry. LDNS does not know where cnets.com IP is. I don't know the IP address. So it will send a request to root server to check, hey, do you have cnets.com? So that is called your referral query. So you need to understand difference between recursive versus iterative query. Anyone know what is the difference between recursive versus iterative, guys? Very, very important interview question. If you have GTM or you have DNS, this question will be asked everywhere. So recursive DNS query is just like a referral DNS query where your DNS server will communicate with other server to hunt the cnnet.com. That is called recursive query. So recursion and iteration are your computer term. So until LDNS does not get an IP address, it will keep sending first here, then here, then here. That is called recursion. And what is iterative? Anyone can tell me what is iterative query? Iterative query is basically a query when you get an answer. So I will draw a diagram for that so that you can understand. First, you need to understand the difference. This diagram, you need to understand that we have got this diagram. Now we will understand the recursive. So in recursive DNS query, your client sends a query to DNS server. Let's say this is my one DNS for name resolution. So the reply to this, when DNS request comes, reply to this can be answer of your query or an error message. So in recursive DNS query, if DNS server, let's say this DNS server does not know the answer to provide accurate answer, so DNS server may query to other DNS on behalf of DNS client. That is called recursive query. Until it gets the answer, it will query on behalf of client. It will first send to this, then this, then this. That is called recursive query. Iterative DNS query means when DNS client asks for a name resolution for Sianets.com, so DNS server will provide best answer. It has. If the DNS server does not know the answer can be reference of another lower level DNS server. So that is called DNS recursive versus iterative. So first query which will be sent is called your recursive query. So that is called recursive. So I will show you the diagram here. I will draw a client with recursive and iterative. Then it will be LDNS so that you can understand. That is the term. Don't cram it something. Root name server .com name server and Sianets.com name server. When DNS client first send a query, what is that query, guys? Whether it's recursive or iterative. When initially client send a request, what is that query? When DNS client contacts the LDNS, so that is called recursive, guys. Every time first query which is sent is called recursive query. If LDNS does not know the answer, guys, it will send another query to root name server. Then it will, so this is request. And this is response. What is this query? This is called iterative. Here also, this is iterative. So iterative gives you the answer, but in recursive, it does not. See, in recursive DNS query sent by DNS client for name resolution, the reply to DNS query will be the final answer. So that is called recursive. But it will give the answer. But in iterative, it will give the referral. In iterative, if DNS client asks the DNS server for name resolution, so DNS, let's say LDNS does not know. So it will tell that go to root name server. It will give the referral. If root name server does not have cnets.com, it will say that go to .com. If .com name server does not have cnets.com, it will finally referral to Sianets.com name server. So this all queries are called iterative. In iterative query, DNS server provide the best answer it has. So if DNS server does not know the answer, it will refer to the another server like this. So that is how it goes. That is the difference between recursive versus iterative. Now I will draw that diagram again of how browser, when we were accessing in browser, how the query is. Final diagram now to understand. Client LDNS, root name server, .com name server, and Sianets.com. Client will first send a request to LDNS. Okay, hey, I need cnnets.com. I am accessing cnnets.com. I need an IP address. LDNS say that, sorry, I don't have that, but I will give a reference of root name server. So LDNS will send the same query to root server. Now, guys, what's root server, guys? Very, very important topic. What are root name server? So let's see this topic. So you need to understand how LDNS will forward the request to root name server. So let's see. So I will go here in my laptop. When I talk about root server, guys, there are 13 root name server which are fixed on internet. Your root name server, there are 13 which are fixed. So this does not get changed. Your root servers does not change. So it is fixed. In world, you have 13 root servers. Total 13. That is, you need to understand what is 13 root servers. So how to check that? Just go, I will explain you what are that 13, but I will show you by picture. I will go here. I will open command line again. I will type here ns lookup. Now I will type set type equal to ns, then type dot. So these are your 13 root servers. I will maximize it. So in a world, guys, these are your 13 root name server. A.rootservers.net, B dot, C dot, D dot, E dot, F dot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So these are hard coded. When you ISP, it is already configured there. In LDNS, the root name servers are already configured. You don't need to worry on that. You don't need to configure manually this. So these root name servers are at the top level. You don't need to do. So this is a common misconception that there are only 13. In reality, there are more, but by default, there are 13 IP address which is used to query. So in reality, there can be more, but there are 13 root name server where your DNS queries are. Then this 13 may have several others, but by default, who operates this? If someone asks you who operates the DNS root server, guys, these DNS root servers are maintained by ICANN, that is the Internet Corporation of Assigned Names and Numbers. This is the university, ICANN. Who manages this? And how LDNS find this, guys? That is the next question. How LDNS knows that which DNS root name server it needs to forward the request? So in every LDNS, there will be a list of 13 IPs which will be configured. That is coming by default in software. When a DNS lookup is initiative, the first communication will happen over this 13 IP. So that is how very important topic, guys. That is how we find the root name server. So these root servers are managed by different universities. So different organizations are there. So you don't need to remember this. But who is responsible is, there is a company called ICANN or IANA. So this all 13 IPs you need to include in that software in your LDNS. That is what you need to do it. So now guys, we were talking about the diagram. I will delete this. I will open that diagram to show you how it goes. Local client, LDNS, then root name server .com, then Sianets.com. So LDNS does not know Sianets.com IP. It will send a request to root name server. Root name server, what will it do, guys? Root's name server will respond with, it will tell, I don't know cnets.com, but I can give you the referral of .com. I know where is .com name server. So everywhere it will check, is there a record for cnets.com here? No. Is there a record for cnets.com? Now it will say that I don't know, but go and ask .com. So that is important, guys. It will say that I know .com name server IP. So it will say go and ask .com name server. Now the request will go to .com. .com, hey, do you have cnets.com? It will say no. Go and ask cnets.com name server. Now it will check, hey, do you have cnets.com? Then it will say that, yeah, IP address of cnets.com is 192.168. Now LDNS will receive this IP, and finally client will able to resolve this IP to 192.168.1.45. So that is how, guys, your resolution recursive and iterative works. Root name server does not have record. They are not authoritative, but they have a delegation. They know that I know the .com name server IP address. So it says that I know the .com IP address. So it will give the reference. Now .com will say, I don't know cnets.com IP, but I have a referral. Go and ask this cnets.com. So this goes back to back. So that is how you need to answer in your interview. What is root name server? What is name server? You need to ask by diff. Okay, guys. So this is how your DNS resolver works. This is how your resolution works back to back.